You are not a sensei. You're a con man.
Hey ninjas!
Hiya!
Welcome to another edition of the Cobrakai Corner. And today, who are we discussing, Daniel?
Today we are discussing my favorite character from the series. That's right, I said series, not movie, like the past couple shows.
I won't correct him.
My favorite character, Robby, Keene.
Yep.
Absolutely my favorite character in the series. And like we always do, Shelley always starts off the show with some facts about the actor.
Yep. All right. So, Tanner Buchanan, a.k.a. Robby Keene.
Robby Keene.
He was born December 8th, 1998, and he's 26 years old. He's from Ohio. Now, some sources I found say he's from Lima, Ohio, and other sources say he's from Ottawa. So, comment below if you know. But he is from Ohio, and he stands at 5 feet, 7 inches tall. Do you want to hear the movies that he has been in?
Absolutely. I want to hear about the movies he's been in.
All right. He was in Jake Squared, The Heyday of Insensitive Bastards, Sinister Seduction.
Bastards, you say?
I say.
All right.
Sinister Seduction, Painted Beauty, and Chance. And also the Netflix movie, He's All That.
I was going to say, I thought that he was in that movie, yep.
Yeah. His TV roles, he has been in many, many things. But if you want to know, like, the whole list, because it's really long, just check out IMDb, and they'll have the whole list on there. But the main things he's been in, besides Cobrakai, he's best known as character Leo Kirkman in the ABC political drama Designated Survivor. He is also known for his role in the Nickelodeon series Game Shakers as Mason Kendall. And then, did you know that on the Goldbergs, the reboot, Goldbergs, it's called Goldbergs 1990 to something, he played character Mike Stam.
I did not know any of that, actually. So.
Okay, now, do you think he really knows martial arts?
I think, yes. I think he actually almost attained a black belt. Or he did attain a black belt. In very short time, in fact, because if I'm remembering correctly, and I might not be, because we've done a different researches on all these different guys that are in here, and maybe I'm thinking of the wrong guy, but I believe, even though he doesn't have as much time in martial arts, he actually escalated to that black belt and achieved a higher skill level than a lot of the people there. Am I right or wrong about that? I'm not sure.
I'm like, are you psychic? Have you been borrowing my tarot cards, sir? Because, yes, he does.
Okay, I thought so.
Now, as you stated before Cobrakai, he learned Taekwondo, stating that he was, quote, a couple of belts away from black before quitting due to being too busy.
Oh, okay, so he did quit before he
Yep,
attained
he got
the black
too busy.
belt. Okay.
But, he has also trained in MMA, which further enhanced his skills for the show's fight scenes. He received extensive training for his role in Cobrakai, which allowed him to perform many of his own stunts.
He's a good high kicker, and he's good at doing a lot of climbing up the wall type stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's really good at that stuff. So, I thought that I remembered that he had either obtained that black belt or got close. So, yeah, he apparently did not obtain it, but nevertheless...
Yeah, he said he was just a couple of belts away.
Nevertheless, if I'm remembering correctly, he climbed up the skill levels pretty quickly. So.
Okay, well, His martial arts background and training give him a natural advantage for the fight scenes that he did, and it makes them visually appealing. Which, yeah, because when I watched it, I wondered, because like the one Zara, that character, I could tell she was probably a real martial artist. Just the way she moves. But I wondered about Robby because he seemed like he knew what he was doing. Besides just like acting.
When we do Zara's show, I actually look forward, because I really don't have that much to say about her over here on my side of things. I'm really looking forward to hearing everything that you have to say about her, because I know you've already done a little bit of digging here and there because of other shows or whatever. Right. But I think that you're going to dig up a lot of cool stuff about
I think
her.
I am too.
I think she is an accomplished and awesome freaking martial artist. Mm-hmm. And don't label me sexist for a girl. She's really good.
She could beat any dude.
And I didn't mean to put that on the end of that sentence. She's just really awesome.
Yeah.
Regardless
She's awesome for a martial arts practitioner. How about that? She's badass.
There you go.
She's badass. Okay, do you want to hear some fun facts?
Of course, I love the fun facts.
Okay, did you know that Tanner's first on-screen role was in Modern Family back in 2010? He was around 11 years old, and it was, if you guys want to look it up, season 2 episode titled Halloween. He played an extra. So he was probably one of the little kids, I'm guessing, you know. Okay, and as we mentioned in our Mary Mouser episode, which I'm sorry I kept pronouncing her Mouser, like
I thought it was her Mouser. Occupation. I thought on
she's
the
a
side,
Mouser. She's a cat.
When she wasn't doing martial arts or acting, that she was a Mouser.
Yep. She and Hello Kitty are teaming up. Okay, but anyway, as I mentioned in the Mary Mouser episode, they are engaged. They kept their relationship secret until season 6.
I think that was wise of them.
I do too. Less drama.
Yep.
And would you like to hear a quote that Tanner Buchanan said about working on Cobra Kai?
Yeah. Did he enjoy it?
Well, he said that he's grateful for the opportunity to be a part of Cobra Kai and grateful for the positive impact that it has had on people's lives. And for those of you who would like to learn more about Tanner, you can find him on Instagram at Tanner Buchanan Official, where you can find snaps from photo shoots as well as behind-the-scene videos from Cobra Kai and his other projects.
Yeah, from watching some interviews with you,
yes,
I think that Tanner Buchanan is kind of an emotional guy, which I like. Even though I'm a hard ass, I'm an emotional guy. I cry just as quick as I yell, believe it or not. I think he's a pretty emotional guy though, because one of the interviews I watched, he mentioned that somebody actually stopped him on the street and told him that it was a father who had an estranged relationship with his son.
I remember you telling me
And
this.
because of watching the series, they actually started communicating and talking again and re-healed their relationship. And you could tell when Tanner Buchanan was telling the story that even when he was telling the story, it was moving him. That he was glad he affected some positive change, even though it was just an acting job.
Very genuine guy. Kind.
So yeah, I think he's probably an emotional, empathetic, sympathetic type of guy. So I guess it's my turn to do the character development.
Yes, but before we get into that, I just want to say, because this wind we're in Michigan, and this wind is starting to whip. And they did say something about maybe some tornado activity. I doubt it, but I'm just saying, if you hear anything, boop, 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 that's just the wind. Don't worry about it. Okay, and go.
The only whip I care about is if Wonder Woman here just shows up with that whip, That would be pretty cool.
I'm doing this. You're supposed to say, "You're no Wonder Woman."
I'm saying. Anyway.
Digress.
Let's talk about Robby Keene.
Let's.
Not sure why exactly he's my favorite character, because he's certainly a dickhead at a few different points in the series. You know how that goes. If you're down with Cobra Kai, you're probably a dill hole for that portion of the series. That's just the way it works. Robby, the first time you see Robby, his principal's calling Johnny, telling him that he got caught with Molly and this and that and the other. And he's your typical rebellious, burnout frickin' school kid. And, you know, rightfully so to a degree, I guess, because Johnny did not raise him. He wasn't there as a father. So Robby's resentful of that. And the whole reason why he goes to work for LaRusso Auto is actually to stick it to his dad, because he goes to see him because something he said got to him, and he was going to go see him. And when he shows up, that's when Johnny is out in the parking lot giving the gi to Miguel for the first time, and they have the embrace and the hug, and Robby witnesses this whole thing. Basically, it's like, man, the hell with you, Dad. You already got your own son, pretty much, is how he's feeling.
Jealous much?
So, out of spite, he goes to get a job at LaRusso Auto.
Way to stick it to Johnny.
Ends up being probably the best thing that could have happened to him in his life, because he gets sent over, due to a prank, he gets sent over to the LaRusso household where Danielson's practicing some kata. And he witnesses this, and Daniel asks him, does he want to learn some things? Because he's desperately been looking for somebody to practice with him. And Sam has turned him down. Anthony, you know, don't get me started on that guy. And so Robby says, yeah, I'll learn. And it ends up being a great thing for him. Clear up until Daniel kicks him out of the house because of a misunderstanding. And then he shows up at the All Valley tournament, all on his own, unrepresented, and does pretty well, comes in second place. Unfortunately, that's the tragedy of Robby Keene throughout the series, is second place. He deals with it a lot better than his father did, though. He's not letting it make him who he is and
it almost
ruin
makes
his
him
life.
try harder, I think.
And, you know, one thing, Robby, he told Danielson this at least a couple times, and Johnny at least once. You think your way's right, he thinks his way's right, Kreese thinks his way's right. I'm going to learn all the styles, and I'm going to do things the way I want to do. And I think that really makes him, as character-wise, the most well-rounded martial artist of the group.
Yeah, because he has mastered control, inner control.
There's almost no point in any one of the seasons, at some point, even when he's with Cobra Kai, that I don't feel bad for Robby Keene. Feel bad for the way he grew up. Feel bad for the way he's living. His mom took off, no electric. That's how he ended up living with the LaRussos.
Yeah.
I feel bad that he got carried away in his fight with Miguel and paralyzed him.
Yeah, he didn't want to do that.
I feel bad for Tori putting him on pause during the Sekai Teikai.
He's just had a lot of hard knocks, man.
Even like I said, even when he's in Cobra Kai, you feel bad for him because you can tell he's doing a lot of things that he himself is morally questioning.
It's like wrestling with it.
Yeah, and all the while, Tori is peer pressuring him to, you know, join the Cobra Kai gang and stuff like that, because he resisted in the beginning. So he resists the peer pressure to a certain degree, but then he still does some things that he just questions himself on. And then when he has to fight Kenny, and he goes overboard and kicks him in the face and all this during the thing.
It like breaks his heart to do
that. Is the breaking point where he decides to leave Cobra Kai. And when he sees the way that Kenny is treating Anthony in the locker room.
And yeah, the way that Kenny is changing and turning.
Yeah, because
really
we're going to get to Kenny's story, but
yeah.
I think they took his character a little bit too far on the vengeful side of things. Anyway.
I think it was needed.
Anyway, yeah, we'll get to that.
Okay.
Anyway, with Robby, yeah, there's always something going on that. No wonder the kid couldn't beat second place. This dude had a load on his mind all the time.
Oh man, his home life was treacherous.
And he was
basically raising himself.
He was fighting the tight wire, being Johnny's son. That was not raised by Johnny, and watching Johnny dig his heels into raising Miguel in the last years as much as he can, that can't be easy to take as an observer.
I was just going to say, I know it's a show or whatever, but just watching it, they acted it out so well that, you just get to love the characters or whatever. And I just wanted to give that little boy a hug and be like that. I wanted to take Johnny aside and be like, look, dude, it's nice that you're, taking Miguel under your wing and mentoring him, but you got a biological son that is crying out for help. And I felt for Robby, you know what I mean? Like, it made me sad for him.
Like I said, there's parts where I feel bad for Robby in literally every season. I mean, at one point, once he's done paralyzing Miguel, which he feels bad for, he's got his entire stint of being homeless and on the run, only to end up in juvie where he gets his ass whipped every day. I mean, this dude is living an action-packed life, and that's, for some people, that's fun, but he's not living one of those good action-packed life. He's living one of those bad action-packed life where it feels like you're always fighting and you're never winning.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of you guys have experienced that or not, but yeah. And that's why I think a lot of people say, if you're going to call somebody from the series the Karate Kid, it's Miguel. I think not. I think it's Robby.
The underdog. And
I
also,
think it's Robby.
Do you know what really got me is I felt really bad for Robby when Daniel had to put him in juvie, because Daniel was kind of taking the place of being Robby's mentor, and he felt like he had seen his own dad. Yeah, he was seeing his own dad, like, bring Miguel in open arms, and then he's like, what am I, chopped liver? So then he starts being mentored by Daniel, and then Daniel, he feels betrayed that he just, so then he's alone in juvie, feels like he has nobody. And that just broke my heart for Pink Panther was mad. That just broke my heart.
And then once he gets to the Sekai Taikai, he can't do well because Tori's got his head all messed up by being there with Cobra Kai.
Young love, hearts beat fast.
So he, Robby just never catches a break, and I guess I can identify with that side of him. I haven't been catching a whole lot lately myself.
God's got us. We good.
Yeah, Robby Keene, what can I say? For being a pretty boy, he's tough as nails, and he's tough emotionally.
Yeah, dude.
He's tough, and I almost admire somebody who can be emotionally hardcore over somebody that can be physically hardcore, because, man, I've seen some people go through some things that would make me shoot myself in the head, and they just took it on and they persevered through it.
They took their lessons.
That's what I call emotional toughness.
Well, and that's back to what you were saying about Robby got the most out of the martial arts or out of karate or whatever, because he also understood the inner, you know what I mean?
He had balance, man.
Balance, that's what I'm trying to say, yeah.
So, that's about all that I have about Robby Keene. I could have probably went on and on about this, that, or the other, but you know me. I prefer to rant about things that I don't like more than things that I do like. Which brings us to next episode of the Cobra Kai Corner. I'm sure anybody who watches this regularly has been waiting for my show on. I'm not going to say it. Eli Moskowitz. That's what I'm calling him. I'm not going to give him the glory of calling him that other name. Eli Moskowitz's show is next.
I'm surprised you didn't say Eli Bedwetter Moskowitz.
Yeah, we're gonna.
I love Hawk, man.
We're gonna talk all about Eli's waterbed.
He's a douche. I love him. He's great.
And I'll be hating on him through the whole show.
Oh, you will. Hardcore.
So, if anybody's been wondering, since I'm always talking shit about him, well, when is his show coming up?
Next.
Buckle up. The show on Eli Moskowitz.
I told him we got to have
next.
a whole show for Eli because we were thinking about doing him and Dimitri, and I'm like, oh no, with all you have to say about Eli, that's going to take up more than the show. So, stay tuned for that.
And other than that, that's all I have for this week. So, this is Sensei Daniel saying hiya!
Hiya! And Shelley saying thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, do all the stuff. Hit the bell. You're going to get all of our notifications. I guess that's all for until next time. So, thanks for watching. Stay creepy.